It is 6:41 now, and it's also spring, and this is the time of the year when deer will be giving birth. Now, if you ever come across a fawn and wondered, what do you do? Well, thankfully, we have Brady Wilkinson, an Illinois conservation officer, here with us to talk more about this. Thanks for joining us first off, Brady.
Thanks for having me.
And one of the things is we get this phone call a lot. People will call the station and say, hey, I found a baby deer. What do I do?
All right, so first things first is more times than not, if you suspect an animal is orphaned or abandoned, they're not really orphaned or abandoned. We have a website, it's wildlifeillinois.gov. You can visit that website and it has a list of what to do and what not to do. And sometimes there are exigent circumstances where you may have to call a rehabilitator. Well, there's a list on there of local rehabilitators that you can contact, and they'll kind of give you an idea of what you need to do, what not to do.
Well, one of the things we talked about before we did this interview was now is the time to put this information out because this is actually birthing season. What are those dates generally people need to be on the lookout for? It
could be now, early spring into late July, depending on the species of animals. So pretty good chance you're going to run into them out there.
And I think part of the misconception that people have is that when they find a fawn that it has been abandoned. That's not the case.
No. That's not the case at all. Fawns are born and they're scentless, so the moms will leave the fawns in safe locations. Often, sometimes those areas may be close to a residential neighborhood or houses. The reason they put them there is there's less contact with predators in those locations. So,
and people will see one and say, oh, how cute, I want to pet it. Don't do that either.
Absolutely not, no.
And you cannot have it as a pet.
Nope, it's against the law to keep them as pets, so the best option is to leave them where they're at.
And one of the other things is trying to feed them. You don't want to do this. It's illegal, correct?
Correct. It is illegal to feed wildlife and maintain it alive.
So just kind of a rule of thumb, when you see a baby fawn laying somewhere, the mother is nearby. She's going to probably be out of sight, but she's going to be nearby.
Yes, she's more times likely.
She has not abandoned them.
She is not abandoned.
Now,
she is around.
Just a quick question. Now, what if you do come across one that is clearly hurt, has been mangled or hit by a car or one of those scenarios? What do you do?
In those scenarios, that's whenever you want to refer to the rehabilitator list, and you can contact one that lives near you.
So unless you see a visible injury, observe from a distance and then keep on moving.
That is correct.
Brady, we appreciate you joining us. Fantastic information, and we'll get this up on our website as well. Right now, though, we're going to toss it over to